It's that time. It's that time. You know what day it is. It's August 20th. It's the debut of me and one of my best friends, the part time marks. Larry Black Lightning Burke. That's Kirk McGirt. Tell him about yourself,
What's
boy.
up? What's going on, man? Yeah, we here Tuesday night. We ready to talk some wrestling, man. Let's get into it.
Hey, un- unpack your book bag, grab your popcorn, and let's get ready for the part time marks. It's that time. You already know. It's time for the part time marks PTM. Me and my man Kurt McGirt. We're here to talk all about wrestling. You know, we're part time marks. So we're the fans who basically we know everything, but guess what, Kurt? We don't know shit. Are you ready? Why don't you introduce yourself to him? Tell him how you became a wrestling fan, my boy. You here with me, Kurt? Okay, Kurt's not here with me at the current moment, but I'm here, so I'm gonna tell y'all about myself. I'm Larry Black Lightning Burke from the 814 Johnstown, PA. Uh, I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. This is since about the age of 6. I was introduced to pro wrestling by one of my mom's good friends from when I was younger, so I've been watching it since. Eh, I'd say about 6 years old. I remember seeing it, and from that point on, I was a diehard wrestling fan, which led me to other endeavors in my life. I did indie pro wrestling for about 15 to 20 years until I caught an illness, and leads me to no longer being able to perform. But I get to watch wrestling, enjoy wrestling. A lot of my friends are still involved in indie wrestling, so I'm all over the place with it, which leads me to where we are today. Since I no longer wrestle, I'm here to talk wrestling. When my partner Curtis comes back, Kurt McGirt, he'll be here talking wrestling with me too. We got a lot going on. We had a big week in wrestling. And where do we start? I guess we have to start Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Wow. Where do we start? Probably one of the best feuds in wrestling right now. We had Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley promo. And boy, oh boy, was it another good promo by the Terror Twins. They're reassuring that they will be taking on Dom and Liv at the future pay per view. And we have a lot to unpack there. Right following that, we had Dom and Liv promo. I said we had a lot to unpack. And right then and there, Dom Mysterio challenged Damian Priest. So we knew something had to be going on there. We knew he said he was going to have Liv and Judgment Day not come out with him. So we knew something was going to happen, and we'll get to that a little bit later. We had a lot. We had New Day. We had a little interaction in the back with New Day and Odyssey Jones, and it seemed just as if that Xavier Woods wasn't really into the Odyssey Jones thing. So we kind of see a little twisted with Xavier, which we talked about just last week on on the drop. So that was another big thing. We seen signs of Xavier possibly not liking it. Excuse me, Woods clearly tells him that he's not replacing Big E. This is just a moment. He's trying to help future superstars. We all love guys who want to help future superstars, and that's where it led to. It led to a match a little later on, and we'll get to that. Right after that, my goodness gracious, we had Bronson Reed and Miz in a no DQ match. You know what you were gonna get? You were gonna get Bronson Reed all over the Miz. We had a good competitive match. We saw Miz standing up for our truth like normal, and boy, was it a good. It was a good, solid match. You know what happens? Bronson Reed wins again, and guess who challenges Bronson Reed? Only one person comes out. Last week, we thought maybe Bronson Reed would be going for an Intercontinental title match, but that isn't really what happened. We got Braun Strowman. We got one big son of a. So now we have a big stare off against these two behemoth men. So we know we're going to see something in the future that's going to be meat on meat. Pause. It was a hell of a show last night. There was so much going on. Let me catch up here because Curtis isn't here at the moment, but I'm just going to flow until he can make his way in. I got to catch up, get back to my raw notes here. Don't mind me for just one moment. Things just hectic. And we will pick up in just one moment here. Raw was so crazy, I'm not even ready here. But boy, oh boy. So, what else did we have for Raw? We had Randy Orton and another Gunther face off. This is going to be one big match for the future. Obviously, I really don't see Randy beating Gunther. I don't see a lot of guys beating Gunther. Like I said, what do we know? We know Gunther has lost 3 matches in the WWE. 3 matches, and now he's going to be taking on Randy Orton. And Orton says he wants to break that record. And oh, Kurt, he's back. Man, you left me hanging for a minute there, man.
Oh,
Get
my
your
bad,
internet
bro.
together, brother. You've been wild all day today, man. I wanted to get up with you earlier. I couldn't get up with you. Then you called me. Why are you this hard to get a hold of, man?
Bro, man, I'm a forever working man,
You
bro.
got me sweating here on the first night by myself, man. I want to catch you up to where we are. I was just giving a quick rundown on where we was for Raw, and I was right in the middle of the Randy and Gunther promo to open the show. What did you see?
What did I see? I can tell you what I remember is Randy getting a beat down.
Randy getting a beat down.
Randy getting a beat down.
You
I'm
know what
telling
stuck
you,
out to me in that promo, Kurt? He called Randy a one-trick
a
pony.
one trick pony.
A one-trick pony. He said it's over for Randy. I can see Randy still wrestling at this rate. I know with the injuries, I can give him another. He can give me another 3 or 4 years if they get him in another tag
Give
team
you
or
another
something.
three or
So
four
I don't see
years.
him packing. But do you really think, like, sir, between me and you, do you think that Randy could be one of the first guys to just put Gunther down right away?
No, negative.
You don't think he
Gunther's,
could put him there?
Gunther's gonna put him down clean, no help, like he
You,
always does for the
you
most part.
So even though we're seeing Ludwig Kaiser come out and give him that little bit of help, you think he beats Randy right in the middle of the ring?
Listen, he's coming out and giving him that little bit of hope, but this ain't the match. We all know Gunther. He prides himself on being a ring general. When he gets inside that ring, it's business.
We got a
You know what I'm
comment
saying?
coming on it from Paul from YouTube. It says Gunther versus Orton is gonna be epic, but how can he beat Gunther? I, I, I don't think he can beat Gunther.
He can't.
Randy's beating everybody, but man, I don't. Who can beat Gunther? I can't even think that far down the road. Great
Listen,
question, though. Thanks, Paul, from YouTube. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, guess what we had right after that? We had Sheamus versus Pete Dunne.
I like this.
I like this feud. I think this is what Pete Dunne needed to do again to get himself back on. You know, the Butch thing just wasn't working, and he's
I,
clearly.
listen, I never understood why they changed his name to Butch, and
We don't understand anything Vince McMahon's doing. That's why we're
You're right.
part-time works. We don't know what's going on. We don't know why you would do that to a character. But
Yeah, because
I think this can get Pete back in on his flush run again. It was completely physical match. I mean, you knew what you was gonna
you
get.
knew what you was getting into when you're getting Sheamus and Pete done, man. Come on.
I don't know what really stood out to you, but my man, Pete Dunne went for a moonsault. Can we talk about it for a second there?
Listen, that was nasty.
Nasty. The reaction to that, I don't even. A kick to the face? Was it to the groin? I don't know where it went, but bruh,
Bruh, I
that
didn't want it.
I thought he was sleeping for a couple minutes, but I seen him react to it, and I was like, my goodness. But like I said, I thought we had probably it was a good, solid match to really get things kicked off on Raw. It was hard hitting. It was you knew what it was going to be. Sheamus is getting in great shape again. He's been looking good the last couple weeks.
Looking great, man. Yeah, it set the pace for what was a great show for us.
So, so while we're on the topic of Sheamus, just randomly, like, what do you really want to see with Sheamus? Like,
With
because
Sheamus,
Sheamus is kind of in that floater.
he's in a position now to where like he can help guys like Pete Dunne get in the position where they need to be. He don't need to do much more.
So he's kind of in like that Miz range. He doesn't need titles. He's just into putting people over right now.
Yeah, I would say that, but I wouldn't mind seeing him with a strap.
Okay. You want to take this next one down here, Kurt? You see this down here?
The
We got
last
a
couple of Gunther wins had shenanigans, botch pin. Yeah, I get that, but when it comes to we're looking at his IC title reign, it's not a lot of shenanigans in those title defenses.
absolutely.
I can understand the botch pin. Hey, man, things happen. And maybe it was supposed to happen like that. Maybe
But
it
I'm gonna
wasn't
be
supposed to
honest.
happen like that.
Now, from my point of view, I think the blotch pin was probably better now in the long run
100%.
because now you got this little story. You can get Gunther against a good competitor. So I think in the long run, sometimes the long run, there's mistakes that happen, and I'll
That
unpack
you can
into something else.
capitalize off of. Yeah.
I'll unpack into something else a little later that I can see that the crowd is trying to force, and it doesn't really make sense right now, but we'll get into that. But I think
Okay.
right now, Gunther going against Randy Orton and whatever he follows with this, I really, in my opinion, I don't think he's gonna beat Randy straight up. I think Kaiser is gonna stay somewhat involved. Kaiser's kind of on a hot run right now,
And
and
I
he's
love
looking real good in the ring, the character work. I'm a little disappointed they took away from his tag team partner, but you see, he's been doing video
He's
packages
got
on
something
SmackDown.
coming, man. I'm glad they're using him, man. I like
I'm
Jim
glad they are. I
Donnelly.
wasn't sure if he was going to get canned or what they had going on next.
Yeah, I was sure he was getting canned because well, like,
Man, you know what I saw next on Raw though? While we're just breezing through,
what's that?
I seen a Braun Breaker promo
Braun
package.
Breaker, man.
And
You already know how I feel about my man, bro.
you,
Yeah.
you got dogs barking. I know. You
Yeah.
know, I like I said, we've had this talk on here like a few days ago. I wasn't the biggest Braun Breaker fan,
Mm.
and it slowly but surely it like the promos are getting better.
Yeah.
The obviously the wrestling was there, the
His
skills
confidence is
there,
coming up.
but I think that promo package last night, again, with the new production team that they got going on back there and the different camera angles that they're making these guys better just by the camera angles
Yeah.
and the production that they're putting together.
Presentation is A plus, man. Like you gotta get
Presentation is everything. I'm gonna catch this next comment real quick. What do we got here? Paul from YouTube again says Braun Breaker is that dog. At first I wasn't sold, but my man is that dude. Paul, I tell you what, I'm 100% with you. I'm 120% with you. I did not. I just didn't see it. I know, and like my man McGirt was like, Dog, I'm telling you, he was barking, and I mean legit barking in my ear, telling me this guy is gonna be the guy. He sees a lot in him. And like I said, once he got with Corbin, it I
Seamless.
seen personality. And guy, don't get me wrong. I mean, for the new followers and this, that, and the third, I'm big on personality and character. Sometimes your in ring work can be lackluster. I'll deal with it. If you can character work, he showed me a lot with the Corbin tag team. The matches were really good. That guy's on his way. I don't know how long. How long do you think before they try to maybe even elevate him to another level, Kurt?
Sometime next year. I think they let him ride with this title for a little bit.
And you think he can carry now? Now, I still think after Gunther's reign, it's going to be hard to make another Intercontinental Champion like that. I mean, honestly, when's the last time we seen something where we're like, that's the Intercontinental Champion? They're
See,
solidifying that title.
exactly. We haven't seen it in a long time, and that's why they're putting it on guys that they're trying to push to be their future top guys, guys that are gonna make the matches and the title interesting. We seen
Yeah,
Gunther. We loved it.
I, I think maybe the last guy I seen that I felt like the Intercontinental title meant something was it Seth? Maybe Seth Rollins. You can
I
argue with
guess
me. I'm cool with
I
it.
can I can.
It's
Did it,
so
did it
hard
really?
to.
He made it relevant, but it was
Mm.
still like after him. Then what?
and and I honestly, I don't know about you. We all had our favorite belts growing up.
Yeah.
And if you know me for you know what I mean outside of here or anywhere, everybody knows I am I'm a big The Rock guy. So when I seen The Rock carrying the title, and then I always heard how it was the workers title, and I always assumed that that belt should never be lackluster. So I felt like for those years that it's just been being tossed around and being used, it's
Mhm.
just not been done properly. So now that we've seen somebody carry that title super elite and do it the right way. I mean, good matches. Uh I like I said, I always say this. I mean, if you can get a guy that is that basic in the ring and can really, really be this good, and now that we can see that you give him a microphone, he's even better now. And I never even thought with him getting the microphone that he was going to be this good. And that run started. You want to take this next one?
Paul
Question, Kurt?
Spencer. Paul
Mhm.
Spencer is asking, who can they push to have that ongoing battle with Braun Breaker?
Well, I think last. Well, okay, I'll go first real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think last week, I think on the show we were talking about we thought Bronson Reed was going to be the guy, but while you was trying to get things in order, I unpacked a little bit that Braun Strowman kind of came out after Bronson Reed wanted to start Damage, so that kind of keeps him a little bit busy at the moment. So
I mean,
who is there somebody else that could possibly step in and carry a nice load with Braun Breaker right now?
those are the top two names that come to mind. But I like Bronson Reed
Uh,
because
I
where are we going with him?
uh,
We're
uh,
making him look pretty strong, and for what?
we're making him look pretty strong, and that for what? For a while there, I thought maybe they was gonna have to put him in a tag team for him to get over a little bit more. I thought he was lacking something. Then he started coming out with the sunglasses and different things
Mhm.
like that. It's trying to give him a little bit of personality, but then this explosion the last couple weeks, you're
Yeah,
really seeing something. So now you're gonna have to try to push it. But
gonna have to.
does he take down? Does he take down Braun Strowman the way he's took down Seth Rollins, R Truth, and Miz? He beat up on Miz a little bit last night.
How big of a monster do you want to make him look like?
Well, let me tap in real quick. Here's a good one. Paul tapped in one more time with us, and I think he's right on time with this one. Imagine a triple threat. Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. Meat on meat on meat.
The
Pause.
the Battle of the Bronze.
You're getting one big son of a bitch. Yeah, pretty much a battle of the brawn. All brawns. Brawn, brawn, and brawn.
That's a double entendre.
That's probably better than meat on meat on meat. But
Yeah, a lot better.
now, okay, so if we get something like this, now you're getting three guys that you kind of want to push all three of them. Who gets to win there?
Or
Obviously, do you want to keep Braun? Is this
I,
where Braun really stands out to you beat
this is
both
where you
these
have to make
guys?
him stand out. See, the triple threat match would make sense because if you want to keep pushing, I want to keep calling him Jonah. If you want to keep pushing Bronson Reed the way you're pushing him, he don't take the pin. Braun Strowman takes the pin because what are we doing with Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman takes the pin. We only see him when we see him. Last time I seen him, he was chasing Judgment Day, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Uh-huh.
right.
So he triple threat match. He takes the pin. That makes sense. Keep the title on Braun Breaker because why take it off? He's just getting
Okay. You're right. All right, let's move on, Kurt. We're flowing here. I don't want to keep everybody on here all night. We're just gonna keep flowing. What we had next? We had Maxine Dupree
yeah,
versus Ivy now. Do
yeah.
you want to start with this one here?
Um, I like it. A lot of people are gonna trash Maxine, but she's learning and she's getting better. It was a good segment. It was a,
Yeah.
it was a good segment. I liked it.
You, okay, well, I was completely shocked when they sent Maxine out there because
You shocked?
we kind of just had this talk on the other show on Friday nights, and I swore that they wasn't going to send Maxine out there for any ring work just yet, but this is why I'm a mark. I
Yeah,
don't know anything.
but that's exactly why they ended it how they ended it.
You're absolutely right, bro. That's what I was gonna go into. I thought for the minute and 30 seconds it was I thought it was gold. They knew that Maxine isn't really ring ready. So
You
they
notice I
let
didn't
their
call it a match.
it didn't call it a match. It the bell rung. It actually was a match because the bell rings.
Yeah.
She explodes with a drop kick. She's giving Ivy work. I think she hit maybe a perfect
Oh,
plex on the outside.
she got her shine, baby.
She got the crowd really behind her. Like I said, they kept it short. The minute
Yeah,
Ivy now took over, the
yeah.
lights
The
went
lights go
out.
out. Yeah,
The lights went out. I thought it was honestly, I'm gonna give that small segment because like you said, everybody rides Maxine and they don't think that she should be in the ring. But WWE, that's a brilliant move. You sent her out there for a
well,
minute. You didn't make her look bad,
you
and
said it.
then
You
you
said it was
went.
genius.
I thought it was, yeah, I absolutely did say it was genius because
Yeah,
I didn't think they would put her in the ring, and then when they put her in the ring, they didn't blow it. They
yeah.
gave her a chance to shine. They ended it, and then we got your crew.
My boys, and then Cross got some action. She got a little. She got in the action a little bit.
She did get a little bit of action. That's how it started. So it
Yeah,
looks like we're gonna get a little more of this story, which is
yeah.
already anything I think the Wyatt Six touches right now is super hot, bro.
It's super hot, man. People are.
Oh,
I feel like people are getting tired of it. But it's a
well,
slow burn, man. And you gotta listen. Everything's been a slow burn lately. You
I,
just gotta sit along for the ride and let it all unfold.
absolutely. I think it has to be a slow burn, man, because you don't want this thing to run its course. They want this. They want this to be right for Bray, and I feel like how they're doing it, they're justifying him the proper way.
Right.
I was kind of you get into these big stories and something this big,
Yeah.
and and how much people respect Bray. I mean, you're treading on crazy water, bro. You know what
Crazy
I'm saying?
water, but you
So,
gotta
but
trust his brother.
I feel like how they packaged everybody. I feel like how they're delivering things. Like you said, man, it's a slow burn, and it's gonna work out. And you see what we get next week. We get some Bo Dallas in the
There's
ring. We
some
get
Bo
some Uncle
Dallas in
Howdy.
there, man. Yeah. Go ahead and take that one.
All right. Okay. Who is the last member of the family? Is it Bliss? Is it Strowman? Is it somebody coming up? Like, do we have like another character that might be just lacking? That might just need that?
See,
Um.
that's the big question, right? Who is the sixth member? But when you have to think about it realistically, Bray was always the sixth member. So if they're going to do it, there's many different ways they can go, whether it be Braun or Bliss. But you remember, if you remember,
Okay.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross had issues.
Okay.
How easy is
Ooh.
that going to be for them to come? This was on the Funhouse. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. You're pulling my card here. You kind of caught me off guard. I forgot about that one. So they did. So there is history there.
So we have to think about that when we're thinking about Alexa Bliss joining, because I don't think that's an easy one. And Braun Strowman, they tried to bring him back. We remember that,
Hmm.
and he fought it. But that's another reason for them to come after him, because you rejected your family.
You rejected your that. Ah, ooh, I like how you're thinking there. I like how you're
Yeah,
thinking
you
there.
know my gears be turning, man.
I seen this one. But for Alexa Bliss, it says all her Q codes on TV and her Twitter lead to Bliss. That's from Paul from YouTube again. Thanks, Paul, for really tuning in. We appreciate it. We know it's the first night. We're not going to try to keep you up all night, my man. Like I said on the Atomic Drop. I thought maybe Bliss because uh, you could probably put her with Nikki Cross and you can maybe help that tag team women's division. But you also brought a
They
point.
got to sort
They
out their
like the
problems
long
first.
time. That
They got to sort
they
out their
like
problems first.
the long game. So what they're gonna do, they want us to forget. They think guys like you forgot
But you
that
have to
Nikki.
remember, she turned her back on Bray. That was after her and Nikki had issues. She turned her back on the Fiend.
So
So
I mean, so that all roads lead to different stories. Which is
yeah.
this is why this sport never gets old to us. We will keep talking about this until we're old men because this is days of our lives for men. It never stops. They never forget. It's an ongoing train.
And the amazing thing about it is, it is what it is. This is live storytelling, bro. Like, we're getting this live every week. Like, not a lot of people can do what these guys do, bro.
Yeah, not at all. All right, let me jump around here. I want to keep us flowing.
Hmm.
We had
New Day
New Day
and
taking
Odyssey Jones.
in Odyssey Jones taking on. We finally get this match we've been waiting for
Your
weeks.
boys, the Final Testament.
I do not like anybody in that crew. If you can keep carrying Cross off my TV, I'll be happy. There's only a couple people. I don't mind it. I get it. You're talented. You were talented on the Indies, but you're just not getting over. And
It's not that guy.
And I feel like they're forcing him on us. I mean, I was kind of interested when he first came. The entrance was real intense with him and his
We don't
wife.
even
And
get the entrance no more, so it don't even
we
matter.
don't even get that anymore. We're trying to push AOP. I just wonder why we have two managers, but Karrion Cross does all the talking.
All so we have essentially we have three managers
So we got three managers. Yeah,
for a
because I
tag team.
but we got our match right there. And what did we see in this match, Kurt
I
McGirt?
mean, we seen the New Day and Odyssey Jones. Let's talk about that hot tag.
Let's talk about that's what I'm
Hey,
waiting
let's
for.
talk. Let's talk about that hot tag.
Well, let's talk about it. Hot tag looked a little shady there. It looked like I'm sorry, was that Kofi could have tagged Woods in,
He went for Odyssey. That's
but
just
he went.
another. That's just another thorn to Xavier's back. That he,
I
man,
mean,
he
well, how would you feel if me and you are running this show? Let's talk about it. If me or you are running this show, and we're doing this for 10, 12 years, just me and you, and out of nowhere, this guy comes in. and he's stealing all my thunder too. Like, how would you feel about that? I mean,
I mean, that's a whole different situation because Xavier feels like they trying to replace the man, which I understand. I'm actually on Xavier's side here, bro.
you're kind of on Xavier's side here.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I,
I feel how he feels.
Dave from Facebook, thanks for checking in with us, my man. We're here. We're not going to try to keep you up all night. We're just talking about some wrestling. Feel
Fella.
free to ask questions. We're here. We're here. We're not going to keep you up all night, though. Ask any questions. We're here to talk about it. You want to take
Paul
Paul there?
said Xavier is not happy. He said he was disappointed in Kofi for not telling him about Odyssey joining. He called him a Big E 2.0 replacement. Look, man, Xavier's hurt. Look, man, I feel him. At least say something, bro. Like,
I
tell
think
me.
my problem is he did exactly what I didn't want him to do last night. Odyssey Jones, he was out there dancing and gyrating.
And you said that. That's what you don't want to
I
see.
did not, because that's too much of the Big E style. So
Yeah.
I guess I can ride on the Xavier train.
Kind of have to. Kind of have to ride on the Xavier train, man. Oh, looks like it's just me. I don't know. I think it's a what is it, breeze line thing?
Mm,
Yeah.
let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Uh, hey, let's talk about Damian Priest versus. Oh, Dave. Before we get there, just one last second. Dave thought for sure that Woods was turning last night.
It's definitely a slow burn type thing they're doing.
I, I seen it too. I seen the look on his face, the confusion. He wasn't feeling it. I just don't know. My big thing about this scenario is, can Xavier really go off on his own and be that successful character? I just I don't know. What like, do they evolve Xavier somehow? But how do you evolve him?
Where do you go?
Where do you go? So, do you really want to break this up, or do you want to tease us for?
Because I don't want to see him joining the Final Testament. That's a no.
I don't even want the final testament there. So, let's just say that. So, Xavier does not belong in that situation, and I think that would totally kill him, unless you're trying to get him to quit. Or,
I would like to see a situation where maybe Odyssey and Kofi gets a tag team title shot.
well, then you know where that leads to. They're gonna win these belts somehow.
No,
I mean,
Xavier fucks it up for him. I mean, ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry.
ooh,
Ooh, ooh,
ooh.
ooh, ooh.
I get it, though. I see where you're at.
Apologies.
About, hey, it's our
Xavier
first night
messes it
live.
up for him.
There won't be too much of that. It's our first night live. Hey, but this is seriously who we are. This is how we talk about wrestling every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and all pay-per-views. This is who we are. This is how we talk about wrestling. But we apologize.
I mean,
No
lately
big
it's been
deal.
Thursday too, huh?
Yeah. We watch TNA too, man. We're watching it all these days.
We can't
Okay,
talk
Dave
about it.
said he likes what they're doing with Cross. They finally found a spot for him. I don't think Dave is wrong with
Yeah,
that. With
I'm
that,
not against people getting their time and their shine, but it's like
how much longer are we going to drag this thing out with Woods, though? I mean, and I just don't feel like it's getting the crowd reaction that they want it to get. Ooh, hey, this is outside the box. I like this one. He said, "What if Xavier joins the Wyatt Six and goes after Odyssey?" Just thinking outside the box. I like that one. What?
that's why we're on outside the box, man.
I mean that. Hey, he screwed over family. You just talked about that. So I
That's what
mean
they're all
that.
about.
Where else was we right after that on Raw? Man, there was so much to unpack on Raw. My goodness, bro. Uh, like I said, let me get my notes here because I was a little thrown off when we lost you for a minute there. Let me get back to my notes here and check out how much stuff went on Raw, bro. It was intense.
Dom and Damien is where we was at.
Oh, Dom and Damien. Dom and Damien.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were.
I
Uh,
mean,
DJ Mo
listen,
B, thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate you. It's our first night. We're not going to try to keep people up all night. We're just here talking some wrestling. Feel free to ask questions. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
DJ
And that's
Moby,
just the
my DJ.
facts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
the only thing, like, I got the image of Judgment Day over the Terror Twins just holding Dom by, I mean, not Dom, holding Damien by his hair, relaying on him. That's the image that I'm left with from that whole from the
that
match.
I think that's going to be a big poster in one of them judges Judgment Day's houses. I think that was a classic photo for
It's
them.
got to
It's
go
a
on a
good
shirt.
way. It was a good way to show the new elite. Hey, even the promo with the new Judgment Day last night, it was short, it was sweet. I really think they should have ended it with Carlito saying, "Now that's cool," after Liv got her words in.
You have to, but
But I think this shows a little bit of dominance for for the new Judgment Day. You definitely got to get them over. You can't be chasing them all through the building.
yeah, and
But
they let they let him.
this is what I was talking about earlier about trying to involve characters that don't belong in there. What did we hear during that whole time? Yeet, yeet, yeet.
They missed Jay.
They miss Jay. But here's my thing.
Oh,
He,
Rhea, I forgot about
he
that.
but it just doesn't fit the situation. See,
It
what
doesn't.
happens is when you say something and it sticks to the crowd, that wasn't supposed to stick. That
Yeah,
was supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be. Now you got the crowd wanting Jay Uso involved in it, and it just doesn't fit. And I
yeah,
know my son's going to be upset about that. That's his favorite wrestler. But I'm like, bro, it just doesn't fit in the mix. It's just not
exactly.
it right now. What do you do when they're kind of forcing this Jay? Do you eventually have to throw him in this feud because he kind of doesn't have nothing right now?
We know why he doesn't have nothing right now. We know where the road is going towards,
We
but
know where the road's
I don't,
going,
I
but
don't think you throw him in this feud. I mean, I guess they would need backup, but really, it's this. It should be the same type of situation when Jay came to Raw. Like, why would we want to come back y'all up?
you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Uh, Dave loved Liv taking out Rhea. He loved it. I did too. I thought it was a good build for her. I think this is going to be a really good. I'm not a big fan of mixed tag matches. I don't know how fans are about mixed tag matches, but I think with this storyline here, I think this can be something special.
Yeah,
And like I
because
said, I'm becoming a big fan of Dom. The more and more Dom walks out to the ring, the more and more I'm a fan of him. And they didn't even do much
big
last night.
fan,
It was
big fan of Dolph.
I
But
I
that's hill in the
I don't
industry right now.
I, he is probably the biggest heel, and I mean he doesn't have to say anything. So that's what makes you great. Which also Gunther went through that last night. The crowd wasn't trying to let Gunther talk. I seen a lot of that Dom Mysterio in his promo.
As they should, man, because you know once they go over to Berlin, I mean, it could go either way. But I think he's gonna get cheered for the most part.
I think he'll get cheered at home. I mean, he's the first champion from Austria, correct?
I think so.
I would
I'm
assume he's the
don't
first
quote me,
champion
but
from over there. So he's probably going to get a reaction like none other. I mean, he's probably hasn't been there in how many years?
you know, as long as he's being booed here, like they wasn't booing him for real for the longest. Like people like Gunther.
I love him. I think he's super talented.
Of him, bro. Like, and it's basic, but let's go forward, man. What we had next was your favorites, the stud
My
line.
favorite.
What was their name? Pure Fusion Collective versus the Damage Control versus the Unholy Union.
Okay, we're gonna
We don't
speed this
even
up then.
we don't even
Um,
have the Unholy Union one. You know, there was that. I'm really not that much invested in the tag team division of the women.
well, it's hard to get invested in, man. For like I said, for maybe 2 years now, you got just the belts being floated around. They're just not. No one's seriously holding and making the belts dominant. And I mean, like I said, I would. I'm a big fan of Carter and Chance. Um,
Yeah,
but they're still they were kind of like they weren't transitional champions, but it was kind of like they were still missing something. So
yeah, they'll find it. I hope they find it because one of what.
I really wish this women's division would pick up, man. There's a lot
Listen,
of talent there. It's
it's gonna be
just
fun.
like
We
I
just
said, I love within what was it since EO cashed in a year ago. They've really been pushing and pushing and pushing EO, and I like it. I like everything about her. I like
yeah,
the in ring. I love the character. I love the music.
the
So like I
music
said, I'm
is
not.
fire.
It's fire. I mean, obviously, you kind of thought they were the only faces in the ring last night, which they're technically not faces. So you had heel on heel on heel on heel. So I
I'm alright with
did.
it.
And who did pick up that W again?
All the champions retain. So
That's right. The champions retain. Now how do you feel about these girls? I felt like they gave them the belts because they were in their country and
I
they
feel like
knew they were going to screw Drew over.
I
And
like
what's her
them
name
better
took a
than.
loss that night too, Piper Niven.
Yeah, I like them better in NXT. I just don't know what it is in this run that I'm not feeling it.
Well, I mean, you get pushed up to the main roster, and then they just threw the belts on you, and then they kind of like took them from Jade and Belair. But I
Didn't
kind
they
of get it because
Yeah, didn't they unify them and then they lost them, right? Was it them?
was it them that unified them?
I don't remember.
That maybe that's what happened.
I think they were a part of it. They keep keeping my girls from damage control down. And this is from Paul Spencer. They keep
Mm.
keeping my girls from damage control down. Women's division is really everywhere right now. Too many names being thrown into the ring for the belt. Yeah,
And
I
that's just
agree.
I totally agree, Paul. I mean, I think there's so much talent around there, and they're so confused to do what to do with it. I think maybe they like some of these people just shouldn't be getting bumped up to the main show so early. I get it. They're trying to make room in NXT for, the people on the NILs and
Yeah,
all these new college athletes coming in. So they're trying to make room. But I think they're making room and they're kind of doing it the wrong way because then you're getting some people who just aren't ready on the main roster yet, and I feel like it's hurting them. What we have next, Kurt? What do we have next, bro? I see.
I think after that we have we heard from Jey Uso, so he had a nice little backstage segment, but we ain't going to get too much into that. We heard Pat McAfee is leaving, as he
Bruh.
always does comes football season, and then we
Yeah,
have
man, Pat McAfee. Guys like him is why we do stuff like this. I think for this next 6 months that we're gonna lose him, we're losing a gem.
yeah. I
He
mean,
he
but
he makes everything exciting. He makes the show exciting. He makes Michael Cole better. Michael Cole makes him better.
exactly,
Um,
it's
he
just
makes wrestlers better by his excitement. I couldn't imagine if I was doing indie wrestling and Pat McAfee was doing commentary for me. I would love it. He's
yeah.
probably he's
It
I don't
adds
I
to your
didn't
energy, man.
and he's so good at what he does and he's been doing this for such a short amount of time and he's being himself. I think it's totally awesome. So I'm already like I can't wait for Pat to come back.
Yeah, for real. But it makes for a good moment when he does come back because we always go crazy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. And then we had the main event, man. We had the main event.
We had the main event, Randy Orton and Ludwig Kaiser. What'd you think?
I mean, it's what I expected, man. They're making Ludwig look good, man. But Randy came with the win. But my man Ludwig, I love to hate him. I love to hate that man because he got the look. You just want to smack him.
uh, but I don't know what it is about that look, man. I don't know what it is about that look, but there is nobody that has a look like he has. Uh, you just look at him and you're like, I don't like him
I don't like him.
at all. Probably the nicest guy in the locker room.
Probably.
Probably the coolest guy in the world. You look at that guy, and he has that look of. I honestly think he's going to be a big champion at some point in his career.
In a couple years, he's going to be one of the top hills.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, like I said, his in ring's good. There's so much about that guy that I like. I said, I like to nitpick. You know, Kurt. I'm talking about. We got hold up real quick. We just got a shout out to us guys on X from Foster. We appreciate you. Thanks for checking in with us, my man. I
Appreciate you,
hope you
my
enjoy it.
man.
Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you come back. Hopefully we don't get on your nerves and you come back and you come be a mark with us. Because like I said, we're the part time marks. We know everything, but in reality, we don't know shit. We're just here talking about normal stuff that we talk about on a daily basis through our inbox, through sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
But
this is
like I said,
good.
we had that main event and Kaiser had a good showing. Man, some of them flare chops last night.
Oh, but I
They
love
was
chops, man.
they
They
was
was sick.
cooking. They was cooking. They
Sick.
was cooking.
Yeah,
Um, I thought it was a good match. Like you said, you knew Randy, he was gonna hit the RKO out of
knew it.
nowhere.
Knew it.
Then again, we got a little bit of an interaction between him and Gunther. I thought it was uh, they're
It
really
was,
building it to be something special. Like I
you
said,
have to. This is
we
what is
have
this
to.
is his first. Is this his first defense?
Gunther, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
anyhow, it,
So that's why you put him against a top opponent. Like
yeah,
like old Dave would say, the three most dangerous letters.
the most decorate, the one of the most decorated world champion you have active right now.
Oh,
Is
I
your
think I was
first.
right on time for it because there's our man Dave just letting us know that those are the three most dangerous letters
Yeah,
in
they're the three
wrestling.
most dangerous. And for how long? 20 years, bro. The three most dangerous letters are KO. Let's go, man.
RKO, man. One day we're gonna have to sit here and unpack some of the best RKOs that we ever seen. I think that would be a good one because I could think of three RKOs that I seen that were top
Yeah,
three material.
yeah,
One day we're gonna
yeah.
have to do a little
One
vote
day
and
we're
see
gonna have
which
to
one.
because yeah, same
there there
because
was those. But other than that, man, Raw was a classic. I think it's almost time for us to take a small commercial break, and then we're gonna unpack some NXT. What you think, bro?
yeah, let's get it.
All right, guys, for our followers, Out of the Box Entertainment has something for everybody. There's something going on every single day of the week.
Every
So
day.
every day. So you don't just have to deal with me. You don't have to hear me talking and running my mouth all week, and you don't have to deal with Kurt because we don't know anything. But you should definitely check out. We have something going on Mondays. We have for you Raider fans, we have the silver and black at 11 a.m. We have the Scully Squad at 6 p.m. and at 8:30 we have Inside the Octagon tonight, like Tuesday night, like this right now. You got us at 10:30. At 7 p.m. you got extra innings, and you got the Commanders Gridiron at 8:30. And on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, I want everybody to tune in if you can. If you love us, if you like us, tune in, give us comments, give us shout outs. But tomorrow at 11 a.m., we got the Bat Cave. And if you know me, I'm a Mets fan. So guess what? I'm going to be checking into that show quite often if I'm not at work, guys. And then at 8:05, you know what time it is. It's that time of year. It's college football frenzy at 8:05. It's going to be wild. And then at 9:30, you know what we really want to talk about tomorrow. Everybody talks about them. The owner talks about him. We don't even have a general manager, his son, but we want to talk about the Cowboys at 9:30 tomorrow night with them 205 boys. Maybe I'll check in with my guys again. They have a preseason game to unpack. We've seen a lot of stuff from that preseason game, so that's going to be interesting. Then, like I said, we have Thursday. We have this 6 p.m. NFL Pick'em, and then on Friday nights, we'll give you a break after that. But at Friday nights at 8 p.m., we have the Big Blue Power Hour. I'm guessing we're going to be talking about the G Men. But following that, we'll be right back here, 10:30 p.m., talking more wrestling. You can never stop talking about wrestling. 10:30 p.m., the atomic drop. There's something for everybody. Please, guys, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok. Hashtag us at out of the box sports. We're everywhere, guys. We're trying to find. I love this channel already. I've only been here a couple weeks. I'm still meeting people from the channel. Everybody that I met is great. They're all good people. Uh, so please come check us out. Kurt, you got anything to say before we start to unpack some NXT, brother?
No, let's get to the NXT, man. I've been waiting all night to talk about this because we open with Izzy Dane and Carmen Petrovic. You know, Izzy
Yeah,
Dane attack Carmen. You
we
know,
open. We open, okay, guys. If you're tuning in, we unpack some Raw. We're going right into NXT, and just as Kurt was saying, right as NXT was kicking off, was that Izzy that attacked?
Carmen Petrovic, yeah. Got her out of the gauntlet real quick. So that was earlier in the day to talk about. So then
And
they
that
go
got me
to
excited because I knew when you start NXT off just like that, you know they're you gotta come with the heat. You
got
think
to.
so, you gotta start with the heat. So what did we do? We went right into the new NXT tag team champions,
Rich,
Chase University. What do you think? They opened it up with a promo.
they open it up with a promo, and let me just say, I'm glad they're doing something with Rich since the whole break off from that. And Pete Dunne's doing his thing, and Ridge is doing his thing. He got belts on him. I like the promo, man. They won the tag team titles, but didn't they were interrupted, right?
Yeah, they were interrupted right away by Axiom and Frazier, and they wanted their rematch, right, right. They asked for their rightful rematch. I was a little confused for a second there because then Chase University kind of cut it off and said, "We'll give you a match if you fight these." So there no rematch clause anymore at this time, or
How long has it been since we seen that reinforced?
I guess it doesn't happen all the time. I think Booker might have kind of told us something too, like there's not really a clause. So,
Yeah, you lose it, you lose it. Back of the line.
uh, and this, so, but they had to take on Chase University right there, the other two members, and man, did we have an explosion of an opening match.
Explosion of an opening
I
match.
was kind of disappointed that now this is where we're we have these moments where we don't agree, but I thought the other two members of the Chase University are just a little more entertaining than what I got from the tag team champions.
Um, yeah, I feel like Andre Chase is a little dry to me. I like the Chase University gimmick. I
Yeah,
enjoy it. But yeah, those two guys are definitely a lot. They're a lot better in ring, I believe,
and that
than
and that was his name. That's Riley and Hudson, if I'm correct. Correct.
Riley and Hudson. Yeah, I got to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Hudson's power. I seen so much from them it kind of threw me off. So I thought that was a great opening tag team. It was high flying. There was speed. There was a move in there that I can't remember what it was, but my goodness, man, threw me off. I don't want to get too lost in it, but there was a couple moves in there and tag team moves. But in the end, Axiom and Frazier won, and what we got
we got the
tag team
rematch.
titles match coming up at the pay per view.
Yeah, no mercy, man. And I'm glad they brought one of my favorite old school pay per views back, man. I like what they're doing with the pay per views in NXT. So, let me ask you this: What do you
All right.
think? What do you think of Fatal Influence?
Um, we got that. We did get that little package from them today, huh?
Yeah,
That's the new trio. You know what? Their video package kind of sold me tonight.
told you.
I yeah, I think now I got to see what this in ring work does together, but I think it did sell me a little bit tonight. I liked how they was talking about how they really came up from the grind, and a lot of these other people, it they didn't have to do that. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
they did. They went to the school, they did the training,
Yeah.
but you know that these girls didn't come from college and different, you know what I mean, LSU. You got people like
They
Jada
can,
Parker who came from LSU. You got
yeah,
guys
yeah,
coming from Alabama. I want to say Obafemi's from Alabama,
yeah.
and he's doing shot puts and stuff. So I think when you
It's
get a
nothing that
group of girls,
independent grind.
yeah. So I think when you get a couple girls who are really, really uh who really been from the grind, I think you find a lot from that. Um, you want to take that question, bro, or you want
Yeah,
me
I'll
to
take
start?
that question from Dave.
Uh,
It says, "Do you two like what Sean is doing down there at NXT?" Listen, I think Sean is doing an amazing job at NXT. And to be quite honest, it's the storytelling and it's a lot more cohesive and it brings me in, man. I like it. He's doing a great job.
um, you know what? Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna go in. I think a guy like Shawn Michaels, who's really, really Uh, hey, just want to check in real quick. Eileen says, "Hey guys, hey Eileen, thank you for checking in with us. We appreciate you. Like I said, I told everybody we're not keeping you up all night. It's our first night. We're just here to ramble and be the marks that we are and get you guys in bed at a good time." But going back to, do I like what Shawn Michaels is doing down there? Absolutely. Shawn Michaels, you know, he's a guy who really he puts people over. He's been doing this since I mean matches that I can really, really remember. He's been putting people over. You know, he was the best since I don't know before the Rockers. He's just always had it. So with him, who's somebody who genuinely cares about the business and you can see that he's starting to expand outside of it, even bringing hip hop artists in and starting to understand that you have to cross you have to crossbreed a lot of this stuff for it to be more successful. I'm not a fan of Sexy Red or any of that type music, but when I see that they're understanding that everything's evolving and you have to involve these characters and these other celebrities.
Because
I
he
can't
has
take
the
away
audience
from.
that they're targeting NXT towards because we're slowly moving away from NXT being the developmental brand. It's moving to the CW. They got these young stars that they're making and they're taking them on the road and it's legit. So they have an audience. It's the
I
teens.
would I don't know about you, but NXT was here in Johnstown. I want to say like 2017, maybe the last time they was here.
Yeah, I missed it.
I would really love for them because like we have a small, you know, we have a small venue here. It fits about 4,000 people, but that's perfect for.
That's
I
perfect
don't
for
know.
them.
That's perfect for I don't know. NXT TNA.
Listen, because what the you forgot to mention that because they're doing the things with TNA too, which
Absolutely.
is great. It's and we're gonna unpack this later, but they have a TNA guy about to wrestle for the championship, which we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So, because we got this gauntlet match to talk about real quick.
Woo! Do we ever? Do we ever?
Yeah, you already know where we're going here. So we started off with Sol Ruka and Ren
Mhm.
Sinclair. Nice
And
action. That
that
Sol Ruka, that's your son's favorite, right?
that is my son's favorite female. He wants me to order her shirt. I tell you what, at first I was kind of like, where are we going with this gimmick? But the more and more, I don't think I care for the gimmick, but that's who she is. And
That's
I
who she
think
is.
and I'm never mad that you because you're not making somebody be something that they don't want to be.
Yeah.
But her athleticism, did you see that flipping stunner tonight? There
Listen,
was some things she saved a couple lives tonight.
it gets better every time I see her do it.
It definitely gets better. I think she has the potential. I do. I see superstar in that girl. I don't know how
Listen,
she is on the mic yet. I didn't really hear her too much on the mic yet,
that's a
but
future women's champion. I'm telling you, bro. Like,
and maybe she can ride with this gimmick the whole way through. You know, some people.
I'm interested in seeing what that gimmick is like on the other side because it can hold more depth there.
I, I think it could, but it depends on how you package her.
Yeah.
sometimes how you package some of these characters is like that's what really pushes it. Because I mean, I really can't see I can't see myself being fully attracted to somebody fake surfing all the time. It's just not my thing. It's not really my thing, but her talent's there. They said she's only been wrestling for about 2 years
Mhm.
too. So and she already been injured once, correct? So
Yeah.
really, so okay, so she's really been wrestling a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah. But with that being said, she's got it.
Yeah. And who was the third competitor? Man, this
Third
match was
competitor
hot last
was
night.
that was Rizzo from the family with my man Tony D'Angelo over there, right?
Yeah, and
That who she's
RZA,
with?
yeah, she came out and exploded. I want to say it was Rizzo. She came out and exploded, and
She
it
came out and
was,
exploded, and then she got
but
out of
she didn't last long. I want to
it. She
say
didn't last long.
Soroka got her right up out of there as quick as they
So
could.
so we got her right out of there. But she did come in hitting them suplexes, bang bang
Um,
bang.
like I said, man, I thought it was a great. I thought but I wouldn't say great because there was a lot of flaws in this match tonight too. I
Always, it's
thought a
gonna
couple
be.
people got. I was just hoping my baby Jada Parker wasn't injured.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Jada Parker, she's not next because we got who was it? Kendall Gray.
Kendall Gray, who
It's crazy
came in and
because we're gonna
uh,
trip
uh,
on these names because we're just getting to know these people. A lot of
yeah,
these people are new.
they're just like, hey, I went in on this match, and Kendall Gray, I tell you what, she came in and exploded, bro. I didn't know, I honestly didn't know what I was gonna get from her. Um, Paul says, who was the blonde with the curly hair and the yellow, but a lot of flaws tonight? Miss Moves. Wasn't that? Is
That
that?
was the blonde hair was Sol Ruka.
No, no, no. I think he was saying, what's her name? Reese or
No.
bro. Yeah, I think that's who was wearing yellow. Reese or something along the line.
Yeah,
Sol
I'm not
Ruka was
even
in
gonna lie
brown.
to you. I'm not. I don't remember the colors, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, I
if you
want to
know it,
say
you
it
got
was
it.
Reese. I want to say actually she came in. I
Oh,
want to
okay.
say,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it was Reese. And then what happened was Gray eventually eliminated her, Kendall
Yeah.
Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of flaws tonight. She was probably the main one, but I also she was the character was kind of thrown in there at the last minute.
Yeah.
So,
So who knows how long she had to prepare, but we're not gonna make no excuses, and you know we're gonna have
we don't
fun.
make excuses. You knew this match was coming for days, and I mean, you know how these matches go, bro. They
Yeah.
really try not to put you in a situation to where there's going to be a whole bunch of flaws because everything you do is timed. This
Yeah.
person's going to come in, they're going to get hot, they're going to get hot, they're going to get rid of this person, they're going to get hot, they're going to get hot. I mean, they format these things just like they do the Royal Rumble. So if
Yeah.
you can't go in there and just do your spots, it's probably gonna be a couple more weeks before we see you back in that ring again.
Yeah. Cause then Kendall Gray is out, and then Jada Parker is out next, looking
Jada
fabulous.
Jada Parker, the future of the WWE. Um, man, she came in exploding. You could tell
And
that
she should.
tonight. You could definitely tell that tonight was her night. I felt like when I thought she was actually gonna win that. I thought when she was actually gonna win that last. What was it? The one that Kalani won.
Uh-huh.
I thought that that was her time then, but like it felt like tonight was a big night for her.
That was
And I mean, and WWE was smart. They left it down to her and Sol Ruka. That's where Sol Ruka hit that flipping stunner. I got concerned when I seen her
I
hit
was
that.
concerned, man. I was like, not again. Not again.
Not again. Don't get my boo missed up. Like I said, there was a lot of flaws in this match too. I get it. It's kind of what you get when you get these female matches. No
It's kind
disrespect
of
to
what you
female.
get when we gotta remember too, these are the NILs. These are the ones that have been training only for maybe a couple years.
Yeah, absolutely. Some never no wrestling background whatsoever. Real quick, we got Dave asking, do you think Melo left early in NXT or should he stay a little longer?
We talked about this, right?
I think we talked about it. Yeah, we definitely we talked about it. I guess I'll start. I'm just confused on what to do with Melo. You kind of knew his course was ran at NXT because you know you can only be there, but you feel like his course was ran there, but you bump him up to the main show. I'm cool with that. He's multi-talented, but you can't put him in the ring against a guy like Cody Rhodes his first night. Yeah, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get two talented wrestlers, but you're burying a guy that you don't need to bury on the first night. He's not beating Cody Rhodes. There's nobody on this planet that the I don't get Carmelo Melo's kids didn't think he was beating Cody Rhodes that night.
Yeah, you
And
would
I
never
think
have
it's
known this, bro.
and I think he's been floating ever since then. I Is he trying too hard to be a heel? Is he trying too hard to be a heel? Okay, well, Paul said he has a rebuttal to that. He said he really feels they pushed him too fast in the WWE. Like, yep, first Rhodes Cody match, then the beef with LA Knight, and you got two top tier guys. You're exactly right, Paul. You can't do that to a young guy. You know they're gonna lose to these guys. You don't see him beating LA Knight at this point in LA. What LA Knight's doing? You know he's not beating Cody Rhodes. I don't know who the hell at this point is gonna beat Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it's like you
Uh,
brought him up there and you really didn't have nothing for him to do. But I
and
mean, you could
this
have.
is but this is why you have that NXT. I see what Dave's kind of trying to say there. This is why you have that NXT. If they're not really ready, I get it. They might have ran their course, but you need to redevelop these people for the next stage. Maybe
I think we could have got more out of him and Trick.
I think we got more out of them because honestly, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The final payoff didn't do it for me.
We could have got more out of them. They could have squeezed that at least until SummerSlam. What did they? What was it? I forget, bro.
Yeah, but
SummerSlam.
when Yeah, I was so hyped up for that match in Philly, man, and it just that definitely didn't do it for me on that card. Okay,
See,
who do you
that's the
got?
thing. I think that because Paul Spencer said he could fill a role of replacing Ricochet type person, type guy. He can
He
move and fly.
he could because he could because he and what makes him better is he can actually talk on the microphone. You knew where I
Exactly.
was going.
I knew.
Yeah, so this is the time to try to
I
push this
think
guy.
you said it though. You feel like you think he's trying too hard to be a bad guy, like a
I think
heel.
he's trying to be too. Yeah, I just I feel like they're forcing this arrogance on him, and it's just not. I felt like it was working for because it was building Trek at the time, but then it
Mhm.
felt like when you moved him up the roster, maybe you should try something different. And he's kind of in that box right now where I think he's kind of stuck. He's still putting on good matches. He's still putting on good performances. That's
He
not
is,
hurting
but
him at all.
other than he doesn't have a story. That's the thing. There's nothing solid for him to sink his teeth into, other than putting on good matches.
And they don't really like this in wrestling, man. But one thing I used to kind of do, and people didn't like it. But when I was doing the indie wrestling, man, like I always felt like, okay, you give me this situation, I'm gonna take it and run with it. So you put me in this situation. I don't know who you can go to. Hey, I'm supposed to take a loss tonight. All right. Well, I'm gonna get DQ'd so we can add a little more to the story.
Hmm.
And they call it they have a word for it, kind of going into business for yourself. But I think sometimes people need to find endings and stuff just like that are a little better for their story. So maybe they go, okay, WWE was going to put me on a one program with this guy. Maybe if we end it a little bit differently, we can somehow build a story out of nothing. I
Hmm.
always like guys who I just watched their match and I'm like, okay, that ending didn't really make sense, so there has to be more. And I seen guys build themselves that way by sort of kind of going into business for themselves without going too far. Because
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know where do you see Melo going after this? Uh, he's not going to be no more than a a U.S. competitor, correct?
I mean, yeah, I don't
Maybe
see him in the world title picture
maybe
anytime soon.
maybe that speed champion. What about that belt? Do they want to make that thing legit at some point?
That's exclusive to Twitter right now. I think they have an agreement, and I haven't watched an episode because I'm usually at work when it comes on.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly I don't even know what comes on. All I knew was there was a new champion and it was Ricochet. I'm like, is this real or
yeah, that's a. Oh, I said Twitter. It's X. I'm sorry,
X?
X. But yeah, that's a X exclusive. They don't even carry it on the main shows.
But we talked about this a few times though, man. Like, okay, so now you have a speed championship, which pretty much is equivalent to a lightweight championship.
They should just give us a cruiserweight or lightweight champion.
There's so many people that you can please give us the WCW days of cruiserweight
Listen,
wrestling.
yeah.
And stop putting Latino on Latino. I don't I understand. We've been asking for this for weeks
We
after
waited.
weeks, but
Stop it.
it just can we stop the Latino on Latino crime?
We've been
Just
watching Latinos fight each other on TV for over 2 years now. It might have been longer because
no.
we had Ray and Dom wrestling each other.
So yeah, like Paul says he can't wait till we go to Netflix. Goodbye PG-13. Hello NC
Listen,
17.
there's
Yeah,
no rating. They don't have to abide by really much anything. So, and a lot of the things that we are seeing them slow burning towards, it's gonna unravel when it comes to Netflix because
it's definitely going to get us there, and I think that's going to be big. I do wonder how they're going to handle like for the kids generation, how they're going to handle it. Obviously, they're going to have their,
I
but
mean,
are we going to be flashing puppies on TV? Are we going to be having mud fights? Are we going to be running cars through buildings? Like,
I hope they
what's
don't
going
go
to be
that
going?
far. I mean, it might get a little vulgar. It stuff like that. If you want to cater more towards the
Yeah,
younger
I mean,
people,
obviously, I don't think they're going to be doing things to women like they were doing. Because this is a new day and age, man. You can't be doing stuff like that
no,
to.
yeah,
You can't be putting.
I think we'll get vulgar language. We might get a little bit more blood. More violence. It's gonna be
But
violent
do we need more blood, though? I think we get enough over
only
in
when
the
it's
other.
necessary. Yeah,
We
you're
do.
right. You're right.
I think we get enough over there. I don't think blood is something they're lacking.
It's not.
Obviously. Do yeah do we get maybe like a hardcore title back again or something? Do they want do I mean, you have your fans who love or thirsty for blood and thirsty for thumbtacks and everything else. Do they maybe go that type of route again on Netflix?
Listen, here's what I would do because a lot of people were into that Raw Underground.
Okay.
They do the NXT Underground matches. So why not
Mhm.
bring that back to Raw while you're on Netflix? You get a little Raw Underground Championship and make it like a hardcore style type match.
I mean, yeah, because you do have your fans who do want that type of stuff. Man, I'm kind of big on it, man. I'd much rather have my product last 20 to 30 years over people doing these nonsense matches that you don't
Yeah, I
have.
don't want people going through 4 tables, burnt on fire, and real
At this
gas.
point, bro,
And
I'm getting old. That's like watching a horror flick to me. And you know how I am about horror movies.
you don't
It
watch them.
gets,
So
you pull out the cheese graters and you start doing all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? Change the channel. But if you can have your hardcore without doing too much, I love these ladder matches. I love these Hell in a Cell matches.
yeah, give me
And
hardcore to where it's like more bare knuckle brawling. You got your couple weapons here with the kendo sticks and the chairs, and keep it light.
Yeah, because I'm interested. I definitely want to see what I can't wait. Like I said, like Paul said, I can't wait for literally for Netflix. I already went and got my subscription already ready just in case something happens and
I'm
maybe they
signed
go
up
early.
for the
Maybe
top
something
tier
happens and they go
subscription.
early. I already tuned back into Netflix just in case. So, like I'm fully
Yeah,
excited.
and I think that's, I don't think they're worried about the children when it comes to Netflix, because they, like I said, NXT is moving to a channel that's geared towards the younger audience, and you still
Mhm.
got SmackDown that's going to be on USA. So I think we're going to be all right.
Okay, so it's just gonna be Raw on Netflix.
I think the shows are going to end up being on there, but live.
Okay.
SmackDown's on USA, and NXT is going to be on the CW.
Yeah, yeah, we got to get SmackDown off of Fox, man. They're really ruining the
I
show,
think
and
that
that
change happens soon.
this is, I think, within the next month or so.
All right,
It,
good.
it's definitely time, man, because they're killing it for us
With the
fans, man.
censorship,
Man, you've been sitting here watching it with me. I thought my TV was messing up. It's blacking out,
it's
and
Fox.
it's Fox. It's Fox. I'm paying for cable, man. Don't I want to pay for that? If I pay all month. So if you guys want to take my bill and cut off that couple cents because you keep cutting me off, cool. We could work together on this. But yeah, it's time for a change, bro. Where are we at in the on the NXT thing though?
I mean, I wanna gloss over the tag team match with the Good Brothers and Hank and Tank, because we're running low on time, for real. But
Yeah, we don't want to go too long.
I do want to say that, because I like Sean Spears, because he had a little backstage segment. I like that he's getting TV time, but I'm kind of on the fence of this whole savior gimmick, man. How you feel about it?
Yeah, honestly, man, I didn't even know what was going on. I was so confused. Everything happened. I got up to get some chicken wings because I'm like, we're going on air tonight. So I'm like, I got to get something in my system. I got to eat. I see Sean Spears talking. Um, did he pop up next to the Heritage thing, or what? Or am I a little ahead of myself?
The Heritage Cup. I think the Heritage
Because
Cup.
remember that girl Sinclair came running back with it. She put it next to Wesley, was it? Or no, the young kid, the super talented young kid.
I forget his name, but yeah, the 20-year-old, oh, super talented, bro.
Uh, oh yeah, this is me, Larry Black Lightning from Johnstown.
Paul.
I'm just a normal guy, Larry from Johnstown. And hey, like I said, you can call me Larry now because I'm trying to evolve from. I'm always going to be Black Lightning till the day I die. But we're trying to evolve into something totally different. Which, like I said, we're here on the part time marks on out of box channel. Man, it's insane. I love it. We're doing. But where was we at again? What was our last question? I'm sorry, I didn't want to get too sidetracked, my boy. I want to get us off the air here shortly.
Oh man, I forget what that last question was. It was how you feel about
Oh,
Sean
Sean
Spears.
Spence. Yeah, oh, Sean Spears. Yeah, I kind of just like I said, I've always been a huge fan of his. I never know where they're going with him. I feel like we're right
And
back to where we was 2 3 years ago. I'm just like, so what's he doing? Like, what's his
what is he
real?
doing?
And so maybe we do have one Shawn Michaels flaw, or maybe they're gonna help us unpack
I'm
where he's
gonna
going with it.
I'm gonna give him time. I'm gonna be patient with him.
Because you already know what he can do in the ring, and you know what I mean. And yeah, he can help a lot of guys evolve too. Because like I said, he's had some good matches while he's there. It's just not sticking to us. And
Yeah.
then what do we have? The main event? Do we or
What was that? Wesley
Wesley Pete Dunne?
and my man
Yes,
Joe
yes.
Hendry.
I
I
believe.
believe. You believe?
I, do I believe?
Okay, man.
Do I
Hey,
believe? Are
hey,
you
hey,
kidding me?
hey. If
Um,
if if anybody of you out there believe, just go ahead and drop a I believe in the comments, because
yeah, please. If you believe like
we
we
had
believe,
Wesley versus Joe Hendry versus Pete Dunne for the number one contender for the NXT Championship, and we got a banger of a match here. I couldn't wait to talk about this one.
Oh man, did we get a banger of a match? I thought we got to see a lot from Hendry. I'll say. I mean, I one thing that super stuck out to me was that double what was it, the thing Scott Hall used to do, the throw over. I did not see that type of power coming from him.
He's
Um,
strong.
Super strong. And like I said, man, I'm not always the biggest fans of triple threat matches, but if you do it the
You're not,
proper way, you get good matches. I
and
thought Ethan Page on he's a good champion right now.
I
He's a
like, but you know I like him. Yeah,
his microphone, his talking, his commentary, he had some good slick lines with him and Booker. So they have themselves a real. I didn't know that they were gonna really get this guy. Because he floated over in the other place. He just
well,
didn't have. And then
we
they brought him
didn't
right
have
over
nothing for
here.
him. But I think that he could have had something if Scorpio Sky could have stayed healthy with the tag team the minute of the year. But after that, he just floated
I
here,
mean, but
floated
that's what
there.
happens when you're just floating in the ocean with a
A whole
whole
bunch of
bunch of
time.
it's easy to get passed up on. I mean, yeah, I said, like, I mean, it's
See?
easy to get mixed in the shuffle if you're in a big pond like this with what you got sharks in a big pond. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, man, we definitely had a big main event, man. I thought it
So
was probably
yeah,
like I thought a majority of the matches tonight were probably three, four-star matches, and that match topped the show. And man, what did we get? We thought Hendry was gonna win, and
I,
Page pulls the ref, and then he
against
screws
rap
him again. But
again.
but what about the ending? How Trick Williams sneaks in? I totally forgot
Gotta
Trick
give it
had
a
a
trick.
problem with Pete.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I totally forgot he had a problem with Pete Dunne. That's the thing I love about this sport so much. There's so much going on that sometimes you just
You
tend to slip
forget.
your mind. And
And it
Trick Williams,
surprises
Trick surprises us, and we end NXT with a new number one contender. I
you.
believe. I believe. I
I
believe.
believe. I believe. And this is the amazing thing. This is not a contracted NXT wrestler. Joe Hendry is contracted to TNA wrestling. This partnership they had with TNA is great because we're seeing NXT wrestlers in TNA wrestling, putting on good matches. We're seeing TNA wrestlers come over here. Like we just seen Zachary Wentz come and attack Wesley because Wesley just did some D head stuff. So
So
I'm looking at what we got going on so far. We
it,
got Jada Parker and Roxanne
we
Perez.
have a big pay-per-view coming. I'm excited. I think we're probably going to get 5 matches. It's going to
It,
be
it
an
might
intense
be a
one.
couple more because this is what I got.
Okay.
Jada Parker and Roxanne Perez for the women's title.
Jada Parker, I'm already saying it.
We got Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. We're gonna have Chase U versus Axon and
I,
Fraser for the tag
okay.
team championships.
Hmm.
We got Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. So we're possibly gonna see Wesley versus Zachary Wentz. We
Okay.
might see Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams. You never
So
know.
we might actually
You. We might actually get what was that? 7 matches? Six matches. We might actually get 6, 7 matches because I think there's still a little bit more brewing up because we didn't mention uh Wendy Chu and what's her name? Kalani Jordan. Wendy Chu and Kalani Jordan for the women's North American Championship. So No Mercy is heating up to be a very good pay-per-view. And we got SmackDown coming up, and I wish we had time to preview SmackDown, but we don't. Um, I'm gonna probably wrap this up.
I'm
Been here
back
for
with
like
you.
an
I'm
hour and
sorry
a half.
about that.
Oh, you're good. Cause I was just saying we're gonna have a fire pay per view. What was you saying? 6 or 7 matches?
I mean, because like lately they've been down to like 5 or 6 matches, and I think they've been really putting their best quality workout when they're doing that, when they're cutting these shows down to where we're not having 4 and 5 hour shows. I think these, but yeah, I think you were up to like 4 or 5 matches already, so maybe
I
they will
think
give us two more, and give us a good two and a
because
half hours, 3 hours.
you were off, but I forgot to mention. Wendy Chu versus Kalani Jordan for the Women's North American Championship. So that's probably a definite for the pay per view too.
Yeah, oh, that probably is, and yeah, we're gonna try to wrap it up after this one, but. I was a l- I'm still kind of confused with the Wendy Chu character, and I'm still kind of
They took two characters and merged them into one.
sure in the future. Oh, absolutely,
Oh, we're gonna review the pay per view.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
We'll
We
we'll
always
unpack.
watch pay per views together for the most part.
Yeah,
We watch the pay per
yeah.
views together.
One of these shows we might be in the
Listen,
same room coming to
if
y'all live, so you guys can
if
just come sit on the couch with us, basically.
if you don't watch NXT, man, tune into No Mercy. They're consistently putting on some of the best pay per views.
They're
PLE,
putting on
whatever
some
you
of the
want to
best pay
call
per view matches, and honestly, you're getting to know your future. Like I said, that's what I used to tell my son. He'd always be like, "I'm not watching NXT. I'm not doing that," and I'm like, "Bro, this is why you're confused on when these people come out of nowhere. You don't have no background on them. So within the last couple of months, like you said, Sol Ruka's his favorite wrestler and stuff like that, and um, yeah, you're. Yeah, but I didn't understand this whole pillow thing right away. And she knocked her out. I'm like, are we knocking people out with pillows? I didn't even think that there was like, it didn't make sense. I seen Chu win with the pillow, and I'm like, did she just win with a pillow? I've been in plenty of pillow fights.
it.
I know you've been too. um, I, none of them's ever knocked me out. And then I guess eventually we got to see Kalani come in. I'm really not sold on this young girl yet.
I don't think
I
she should have won it,
I don't think she should have won it, but
but
I
they like her. They
understand.
see something in her. I'm gonna give them a chance,
And I
but I
think
think
they wanted us talking about it just like this, like why did she win compared to everybody else? Yeah, that was in that match.
so. Yeah, you're right.
Uh
But do
man,
you think Wendy Chu has a chance to take it from her?
yeah. Um. I, there's a good chance. There's a
Out
good
of the
chance.
box. Out of the
Yeah.
box sports entertainment says, great debut, fellas. Part-time marks. Welcome to the network, fam. Hey,
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
want you to get too sweet.
L's. I do L's for lightning. Too sweet, man. Yeah, we got a lot to unpack, man. We still got a whole nother show next week. So do we really want to spoil everything now?
Nah, we gonna wait. We gonna come
We
back
gonna
to you
wait,
next
man.
week.
I had a good time tonight. Like I said, we excuse you guys for a couple technical difficulties. It's our first time on air. You know, ride with us. Ride with us. You'll have fun. We're gonna try to take this to whole nother levels. I really want to just real quick. Like I said, everything's still new for us, so I want to thank our sponsors, uh, Out of Box Entertainment, all the guys over on the channel. Everybody is super supportive. Please subscribe to Out of Box Sports on YouTube, please. You can follow my man Kurt on Facebook. I think you can find him under the name Prospect Homes. You can find me, Larry Black Lightning Burke, on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We are not hard to find. We always want to talk about wrestling, so we can talk about wrestling outside of this show too. Hit me up in my inbox. I'll save the questions for the show. That way, everybody can be involved, and there's opportunities. If you guys know anybody looking to join and come talk wrestling with us, please come talk some wrestling with us because, like I said earlier, man, we know everything about the sport. But guess what, Kurt? We don't know
Well,
shit.
nothing.
We don't know nothing, man. We're just some marks and we just want to talk wrestling. This is what we literally do every day around each other. So why not? Let's spread the love with the world. Maybe you guys can tell us something we don't know. I had a blast tonight, man.
Hey,
and hopefully we can keep doing this. Hopefully we didn't wear the guys out and they don't want to fire us and it be only our first night on the show. But it sounds like we're getting some good reviews so far. Guys, thanks again for tuning in with us.
And make
I
sure
think I'm
y'all
ready.
tune in to the Atomic Drop Friday at 10:30
Yes.
to talk more about wrestling. All right.
And we got, like I said, we're gonna try to pop it back up on the screen one more time. We got the Atomic Drop, the best damn show on the 10 o'clock hour. It's the Atomic Drop, and I mean, I love those guys over on that channel because I it's like a kind of a war between us and them because I think they know more than we know, and I think we know more than they know. So
Mm,
it's
but
just
wait a minute. We don't know nothing.
you don't know nothing. We're just some marks like every other fan that tunes in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You got wrestling on every single day of the week. This is the best time in the world to be a wrestling fan. It- but if you're not watching wrestling right now, I don't know what you're doing. I hope you're not watching those The Bachelor and all that other stuff because that's fake.
Fake.
That's fake. But guys, thank you for tuning in one last time. Kurt, I had a ball, man. Let's do this again. What? I don't know. Next week, same time?
I'll see you next Tuesday, bro.
I'll see you next Tuesday. I might see you before that.
I might see you before that, man. Hey, good night, everybody.
Good night. I love y'all. Respect.